to the United Nations says his country will no longer issue visas to UN personnel.
This is false. It was the opposite.
Let's look at this now with Stefan Talman, who's an expert on international law and joins us from Bonn. Welcome to DW. The UN Secretary General this week said there had been clear violations of international humanitarian law in Gaza. We'll assess his statement in just a moment. First, though, for the layman, what are the rules of international humanitarian law?
Would it matter if everyone would care to share, not for greed, but for everyone's need? Hello world! Hello Philippines! Hello General Santos City! This is Durley Aceto speaking. With me this afternoon is MJ. We're here to talk about the generally accepted principles of international law and how to make the Philippines a beacon of hope in a global arena filled with challenges.
That's right, Durley. So let's get ready.
You know what, MJ? International law tells us that respecting a nation's sovereignty is crucial. It's like this garden. Okay, try to look at that garden. It's theirs to nurture and care for. And we should be able to respect their space.
Absolutely. Durley, just as we don't barge into someone's garden and start planting our flowers without permission, we shouldn't interfere in another country's affairs.
Clearly, imagine this table as a place where nations come together to talk things out. It's like settling a disagreement over dinner instead of fighting.
Exactly, MJ. Just as we resolve problems over a meal, by talking and finding common ground, nations can resolve conflicts through peaceful negotiations. Okay, MJ, try to think of these treaties as trust-building blocks between nations. They're like promises nations make to each other.
Yes, and just as we keep our promises in everyday life, nations should honor their commitments to maintain trust. Nuclear weapons are like swords of Damocles, hanging over the world, ready to fall at any moment. Advocating for nuclear disarmament is like removing the swords.
Absolutely, MJ. By getting rid of these swords, my God, we ensure a safer world to live in. Think of a multilateral diplomacy as conducting a symphony. Each nation is an instrument, and the conductor brings them together to create harmony.
Yes, Sterling. Just as conductor guides musicians to create harmony, beautiful music, multilateral diplomacy guides nations to collaborate for a better world.
What could happen if the virus of greed, of power in might, threatens our global peace? It could lead to inevitable world chaos, pushing us to doomsday.
Take a look at this rare video of Hiroshima from 1945. The U.S. military shot this footage right after the atomic blast that ultimately killed about 140,000 people.
Thirdly, as we delve into these manifestations, it's crucial to consider the possible ill effects when they are left unchecked. Picture this setting, it's like we're in a room filled with ticking time bombs.
Hello, MJ. Let us not forget the devastating impact of environmental destruction caused by check heat. It threatens our very existence. I tell you, MJ, that's serious enough to consider.
Imagine the world as a fragile glass structure. If we don't handle it with care, it can shatter into a million pieces. We must tread lightly and ensure every piece stays intact. Another precursor to the world chaos is the reckless development and proliferation of destructive weapons, such as nuclear arsenals.
And Ivy Mike was detonated.
MJ, before we conclude, let us explore how greed and unchecked power manifest in the actions of states, seeking material gain and control over the world. When we identify manifestations, we can address them more effectively and uphold the principles of international law. One clear manifestation is economic exploitation, when powerful states exploit the resources of weaker nations for their own gain. It's like taking someone's hard-earned income. Yes, this economic dominance can lead to unequal partnerships and perpetuate properly in those weaker nations.
But it doesn't have to be that way. By respecting international law, advocating for peace, and working together, we can prevent this catastrophe scenario.
Without the sunlight of freedom and justice, people suffer, and the path to progress is disrupted. We have explored the ill effects of these unchecked manifestations, and they paint a stark picture of the consequences. Indeed, by shedding light on these issues and upholding the principles of international law, we can work together towards the world where the ill effects are replaced by cooperation, justice, and equity.
As we assess the global situation and the looming threats, we must remember that we hold the destiny of our world in our hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we navigate the tumultuous seas of global challenges, let us remember that unity and peace are not mere aspirations. They are the very foundations of our shared future. The Philippines, with its unwavering commitment to these ideals, stands as a beacon of hope in the eye of the storm. But the storm rages on, and it is our collective duty to weather it together. Today I implore you to join hands with us, to be part of this global conquest for peace and unity. It starts with each one of us taking a stand, fostering understanding, and promoting cooperation. Whether you are a world leader, a humanitarian, a student, or an everyday citizen, your actions matter. Advocate for diplomacy over conflict, tolerance over division, and compassion over indifference. Support initiatives that promote unity and seek peaceful resolutions to conflicts. Together, we can turn the eye of the storm into a sanctuary of calm and cooperation. Let us work relentlessly for a peaceful and united world. Is not just a dream, it is our shared destiny. Together, we can make it a reality